What's up, guys? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas. This is Season 5, Episode 16, and the episode is titled Picture Perfect. Okay, you guys, can we be real about this show? I just feel like Tyler is just throwing things at the wall and hoping that they stick. Because there were a lot of things in this episode that made no sense to me, and I really need a lot of these storylines to go ahead and move along because I'm over it. First things first, this conversation between Angela and Fatima. I feel like this conversation consisted of a lot of dead air, and it lasted longer than it should have. Now, when it comes to Angela, at this point, I don't want her on Sistas. I want the Zatima characters to stay on Zatima, and the Sistas characters to stay on Sistas, because they do not intermingle well. It makes the storylines get really messy. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it. Actually, I don't really like the way Angela's character was even written because I thought she would be, I don't know, I just thought her character would be better, but she isn't. Like, I feel like he just made her a curvy version of Sabrina. Real ditzy and dingy. Because in this situation, you have Angela bringing Fatima a photo of Zach and Karen. Now, in the photo, I guess it looks like they're actually kissing, but we, as the viewers, already know they did not kiss on the lips. It was just a peck on the cheek that Karen actually went in for, not Zach. Now, Angela is over here talking about does he have a twin? Oh, do you really think that's him? Is it him? Like, girl, you've met Zach before. You know that that's him or not. Why are you even asking Fatima that? I don't know. It just really annoyed me this episode. And also the fact that Fatima asked her if the person who sent her the photo, if they were legit. I'm like, what kind of question is that? Are you thinking somebody's photoshopping photos, Fatima? Like, I don't know. This script was a mess this episode. But nonetheless, like I said, Angela has brought this photo to Fatima's attention. She's like pissed off about it because, of course, she told Zach that he could go talk to Karen alone. And now she's getting a photo of them possibly kissing. So she's like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and let him tell me about it. Because she wants to see if their communication skills are where they need to be. And if she can even really trust Zach. Because if that's the case, he should be coming to her with this information of what went down between Karen and himself. Also, there's one thing that I find funny about this scene. Is when Fatima is like, is your friend trying to start mess? And like, how she know that I even dated him? And her friend is like, oh, because she knew that I knew you and that you guys were together. I said, how does anybody even know that Fatima and Zach are together? Because when did they ever go out? Okay, let's just go ahead and pretend like everybody is just out here in these streets, proud and out and about, and everybody knows that they're dating. All right, cool. You know what, let's just go ahead and move along. I want to talk about Andy and Robin. So, Robin actually comes to see Andy, and he's actually going to take up her friend's deal. Now, the person said that they want to give him the money, but he also has to pay 20% interest on it. Didn't he have to ask for like $13 million? And you putting 20% on top of that? My God. Now, my question is, who is the person, y'all? Who is the person? Because I find it incredibly crazy that Andy just magically has a guy who has multi-millions that he can just lend out to people. Oh, well, if you know somebody who can just hand out millions, baby, why did you go to Robin and ask him for money? Why did you have Robin post part of Sabrina's bail when you could have went to your multi-millionaire friend? Like, I feel like I'm very frustrated watching this show because these girls, especially on this episode, I'm like, who raised y'all? Because none of this is making sense at all. Like, this man literally told you he was in a financial bind, and you still had him put up the majority of the money to get Sabrina out. And then you put up your money to get Sabrina out, but you had a multi-millionaire friend. A man with millions that you know personally who probably would have charged you 20%. Wow, Andy. Wow. Again, you continue to use Robin. You are the queen user of this show. Like, it is blowing my mind how Andy is able to use people left and right, and nobody seems to call her out on it. Like, nobody. But here's the thing. Now, here we get to Robin. He's asking her out. He was like, can I take you out? And she's like, no. So, of course, she has to let him know that, Gary, he's around. And I said, around? Baby, he's more than around. This man's at your house every night. He's practically moved in. Like, what are we talking about? I would rather you be straight up with this man and be like, you know what, Robin? Moving forward, we're only going to have a strictly business relationship because I'm still not over Gary, and Gary has a chokehold on my life. He also paid for a penthouse that I'm enjoying and living in, as well as he bought me a really fancy car that I love to drive. Like, just say what it is, baby. So next thing you know, Fatima comes in, is like, your homegirl is here, and next thing you know, in walks Sabrina, right? Why did they run to each other like that, y'all? Why did they run up to each other like as if this was the color purple and Celie and her sister just reunited? What the hell was that? Like, it was so weird. And on top of that, I said, oh, so Sabrina actually comes to the law office, but you're not going to introduce her to the man who put up most of the money for her bail? Interesting. Now, here we go with this conversation between Andy and Sabrina. Y'all, I really think that Novi is a beautiful woman. I really want to see her in something else that is not a Tyler Perry production. But her acting on this show, I want to scream. Because everything just seems so whiny and down and out. I'm just like, girl, get it together. Like, Andy's like, oh no, I can't help Maurice. She's like, we have to help Maurice. Like, oh my God, Andy, he's in jail. Like, we need to help Maurice. I'm like, girl, I'm going to need for the acting to be better, or maybe it's the script. I don't know what it is, but I just, something about Sabrina. So at one point, you have Andy letting her know that, she is at work, and technically this is an outside of work problem, so she needs to handle that at a separate time. But Sabrina is, of course, adamant about trying to help Maurice because she told Maurice to call her. And I'm just like, first of all, I don't even understand how you told that man to call you within an hour. It was going to take you probably 20 minutes to get to Andy's office. And you hadn't even talked to Andy prior to know if she was even going to have any answers for you. You played yourself. Because next thing you know, Maurice is calling. Oh, but baby, you already know that Maurice is still going to be Maurice. Maurice is still going to call these women out their name. Maurice is still going to, give them the sass, the attitude, because that is just who Maurice is. Now, Andy is trying to tell him this information, like, we're going to try to see if we can get you bail, all this stuff. And he's like, bail? I need to be up out of here. This, that, another. I said, oh, he kind of, going off the rails here, considering he should be nicer, considering these women are trying to help him. Now, my thing about Sabrina, though, is baby girl keeps all these promises. We're going to get you out of there. We're working on it, Maurice. I said, who the fuck is we? Who is we in this situation? The only thing that you're doing is whining to everybody about the situation. Like, as much as I complain about Andy and her, asking for favors left and right, at the end of the day, she did have to use her connections to even get you out. And she used her money to post bail. And the fact that you think that now somebody has to come around and support Maurice, girl, you need to worry about yourself and your own case, okay? Now, at one point, like I said, they were telling Maurice all this information, and he kept giving them sass. And Sabrina's like, yeah, we're working on it. We're going to get you out of there. And he was like, yeah, y'all better get me out of here. Baby, Andy was over it. Andy was like, let me tell you something. Now, before she could even get out what she was going to say, Sabrina tried to cut her off. But she was like, nope, I'm going to say it. When she told Maurice that Sabrina is your friend and you are not my friend, I said, finally, somebody says it. I am not mad at Andy for saying any of this to Maurice because it definitely had to be said. Like, you should be more grateful that someone is even trying to come help you. Because at the end of the day, you messing around with Q is what put everybody in this situation. Now, one thing that I will say is that he had to apologize. He realized that he was wrong because Maurice has absolutely been wrong in this situation when it comes especially to this conversation. Because the way he was talking to them as if they weren't trying to help him out, like, it was very crazy to me. I'm like, I know that his mouth is usually reckless, but it's like at a certain point, we gotta stop this. Like, for real, for real. And you gotta be serious at some point in your life. Now, before they get off the phone, again, Sabrina is just throwing this we word around left and right and left, okay? We're going to help you. We're going to do this. Baby, who is we? But we going to get to the we later on in the episode. Let's go ahead and move on with the conversation. Now, baby, when Andy got into Sabrina's ass about how she has been doing favors left and right, and they're very expensive favors, I said, yeah, you gotta let her know at this point. Especially considering Sabrina did not know how much her bail was. Girl, it was $3 million cash only, okay? And they wanted it all. And now Andy had to let her know that, yeah, I put my money up because you are my best friend. And also I had to put Robin's money up because your girl didn't have enough. So, if they do decide to give Maurice bail, and it's just as expensive as Sabrina's bail, then she's not going to be able to help you, Sabrina. So Sabrina has to leave in tears because Andy cannot help her to the extent that she needs help to get Maurice out of jail. Well, she does leave, and she's very grateful for everything that Andy has already done for her. And I'm like, all right, cool. Now let's go ahead and slide on over to this conversation between Gary and Hayden. Only thing Hayden wanted to talk about is how he's into this new woman that he got. And then at one point, Gary is saying that maybe Andy told old boy what was going on. And the crazy part is that now Gary is thinking that this may be a good thing that Andy told Robin what's going on because he wants him to know that it was Gary, y'all. It was Gary who took Robin out. I said, yeah, okay, whatever. Let's move on over to Karen's hair mastery. Pam is trying to send Karen home because you already know she's only supposed to be easing back into work. And next thing you know, who pops up? Aaron, because you already know this is what he does. He never calls or texts before he shows up. He just pops up. So he's like, you know what? I want to go ahead. I want to take you out to dinner tonight. I'm tired of being cooped up in that apartment. I said, you're tired? No, the viewers are tired. We're tired of all of y'all having these bedroom relationships because y'all don't ever go nowhere. Nowhere. If I can recall, the only time I remember those two going out together was when she was telling him that she was still interested in Zach or something like that. So, yeah. About time you take this woman out on a real date. Great. Karen goes to the back. She calls Andy while she's supposed to be grabbing her bag. And she calls her to let her know that she already signed the paper. She's going to send them over to her. She'll see her later on after dinner that she has with Aaron so that they can go over the paperwork for the child support stuff. All right, boom. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's slide on over to Andy and Fatima. So Fatima is clearly off her game because of everything that went down with her finding out about Zach in this photo. And Andy's like, girl, where's all the work that you were supposed to be doing? We're missing some files. What's going on here? So Andy's like, all right, girl, what's really going on? What's happening? So, of course, Fatima doesn't really want to say anything. So Andy's like, okay, well, Karen, she got the paperwork. Zach, he did it really quickly, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, that trickled onto the conversation of this photo. She shows Andy the photo. Andy's like, oh, that might have been taken a long time ago. She's like, nah, that nigga had that on today. And she's like, the crazy part about it is that he went over there so that way he could give her the paperwork. And on top of that, he ain't been answering my phone calls or texts. So baby girl's going through it. Fatima's over there stressed out. I said, you know what? Zach is just stressing you out, baby girl. Y'all may need to cool it for a minute or something because every time you turn around, there is something going on with Zach and Fatima to where they have to let each other know, oh my gosh, no, I really want to be with you. I only want to be with you. Don't let all this side foolishness, sway you. We really should be together. Like, I feel like we're going to keep having these back and forth moments with them this season. And I'm just like, okay, so what will be going on season 2 of Zatima? That's my question. Because we got all this foolishness happening on this show. What is going to be happening on Zatima next season, Tyler? Please let me know. So, of course, Fatima tells Andy that she wants him to tell her what's going on, like she already told Angela. So, of course, Andy has to try to convince her to go ahead and have the conversation with Zach. So Fatima, I guess it must have been like the end of the day, because next thing you know, Fatima is packing up her stuff so she can leave, and Robin is standing there waiting to talk to Andy. So Robin has come by to let us know what's going on with Maurice in this bail situation. Oh, he made bail, but of course it's all cash again, and it's $1.5 million. So like Robin jokes and is like, "What did you do to this prosecutor?" And of course Andy's the brakes off of him in that divorce case. And I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of interesting how this prosecutor can just come up with numbers off the top of his head that honestly, they don't really have that much to do with the crime. But then when I think about it, nah, they tried to rob the bank according to this man. So maybe that does carry a very high bail. Alright, now Tyler is making Robin thirsty. He wants to take Andy out again. He's asking again. And she shuts him down for the second time. Now, this is the part that got me, y'all. That I said, now what is we watching? This man says, "So when you've been burned, like you're done." And she said, "Yeah, I'm out." Excuse me? Gary has burned you so many times. Like, it is crazy. How you gonna sit up in this man's face and be like, "Oh, he talked down to me that one time in the office, so I'm never gonna talk to him again"? Girl, Gary's wife tried to shoot you. Not to mention the time that he had them people at your apartment taking all your stuff. The time that he, put his hands on you. Baby, Gary has done so many things to burn Andy. Like, take her out to the middle of nowhere. Like, are we all watching the same show? What is Andy talking about right now? Alright, so let's jump on over to the conversation between Sabrina and Andy, because Andy has to let her know what's going on with Maurice. So she's like, well, I was able to get him bail. I said, I? Who is I? Robin was able to talk to some, head honcho people to get that man bail. But alright, girl, we gonna run with the story. Now, y'all, she tells this woman the man's bail is $1.5 million, and it's all cash, okay? Now here comes Sabrina. Sabrina says, "Oh my gosh, I don't even know anyone with that kind of money." And Andy says, "Yeah, I know you don't." I said, "Well, that's kind of shady. Like, you trying to say all Sabrina people is broke around her?" Okay, girl. But no, for real. So, Sabrina has the audacity to hit Andy with the, "Well, do you have any more money?" Girl, don't act like you did not just have a conversation with her probably a couple of hours ago where she told you that she done gave you her money. Your bill took up her money. So the fact that you decided to go ahead and ask Andy again for more money, bye, Sabrina. Goodbye, Sabrina. Y'all, so at one point, you have Sabrina saying, so then you have Sabrina being like, "Oh, because I think I have about $87,000. Now, Andy tells her, that's not going to be enough. That ain't going to cut it. But I'm like, Sabrina, you're a bank manager. You've really been saving, haven't you? To have $87,000, because they don't make money like that. And secondly, you might want to save your money for all your legal fees that you're going to have. Or should I say you have to pay for. You know what I'm saying?" Then the audacity, y'all. This is what I said. Ooh, the audacity of the women on this show. Here comes Sabrina. She says, "Well, what about Karen?" No, Karen ain't got money like that. Also, Karen is pregnant. Karen is about to have a whole baby. And you think she's going to take her money so that she can post bail for Maurice? Make that make sense, Sabrina? Oh, y'all. Then she hit us with this one. What about Zach? Zach don't even know you like that, Sabrina. Like, what? Now you're just reaching for straws. Like, I know that I have definitely gone in on Andy because of her asking Robin for money, even though she don't even want that man no more. Or at least she making it seem like she don't want that man no more, which is crazy to me because I'm pretty sure that if he would have known that she wasn't going to give him any play and that she was done with him, then he probably would not have put up the money for Sabrina. I am pretty sure that Robin would have kept his money considering he's getting nothing out of this. And I would also like to mention how Andy could have easily went to Gary and asked for the money for Sabrina, since that's who she laid up with every night. Oh, you couldn't do that? Okay, cool. So, but the audacity of Sabrina. Sabrina is out of control. Out of control. Whining left and right, begging left and right, suggesting things that make no sense. Then for her to be like, well, you know what? I may know somebody. I think I have an idea. And I'm like, who does she know? Oh, baby, we gonna get there. Because she hops her ass off the phone with Andy, and then she decides to call Bio, right? He's happy to talk to this woman. Because she been MIA for a couple of days. She's like, could you come over right now? He's like, yeah, I'm on my way. I said, oh, I know you lying. I know you're not about to ask this man who, he ain't even your man. He not your man. And then on top of that, you gonna ask him for some money when you've only known him for like, what, a couple of days? Because y'all went out, what, on one date, maybe two? Girl, what? So let's just go ahead and hop on over to Danny. She's, of course, talking to Q at her job. Now, here's the thing that got me about this situation. I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing Q. I'm tired of seeing him trying to move in with Danny. He's like, oh, I can come over. We can have drinks. We can smoke. Let me get your address. Blah, 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 blah. No, we're tired. The viewers are tired of Q. I think we all need to sign a petition to get this man off the show. I'm tired. So, like I said, he's trying to get over to her house. Danny don't need nobody coming to her house at this point. She's still not even over what happened with Jonah, and it's pissing me off because Tyler is just brushing that under the rug and keeping life moving. It's annoying at this point. So Danny actually ends up calling Sabrina. She's just checking in on her. Sabrina lets her know that Bio's going to be coming over later, and she wants to run an idea past Danny. So she's like, let me know if this is wrong or not. So she goes on to say how Bayou is the only man that she knows that has millions of dollars, and that Maurice's bill is set to $1.5 million, and it has to be cash. So, of course, Danny is like, this does not feel right. I don't think this is really the thing you should be doing, because how well do you even know Bayou like that? Like, no, this idea is dumb. I mean, also, let's be real. If the roles were reversed, would Maurice magically come out of pocket and try to find ways to get Sabrina out of jail? I don't know. I don't know if he would go this hard, y'all. Maybe because he doesn't have the resources to go this hard, but I don't know. Now, speaking of Maurice, we see that the prosecutor comes to visit him and lets him know that he has made bail. It's $1.5 million. And if he actually does come up with the money, it's going to look really suspect. Because it's like, how did you come up with this money if you didn't rob the bank? Alright, let's just go ahead and move on. Because we have Fatima. She's pulling into her driveway, right? Gets a phone call from Angela. An unnecessary phone call. Because it was like Angela was trying to talk her off the ledge. But yeah, I was over it. Here's the thing. Fatima goes into the house. She wants to know what's going on with Zach. Zach ends up telling her how things went well when it came to him and Karen. Now keep in mind, Fatima is being distant this entire time because she wants him to get to the point where he tells her what happened with him and Karen, and he never does. So what does she do? Whip out her phone so that she can show him the photo. And that was left off. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.